Alright people, so I'm here with your 2014, I guess it's called TLC, or fucking not TLC, like NXT TakeOver Revolution 3 or something, TakeOver 3 NXT Revolution. They make the pay-per-view name so confusing in NXT. They should just name it something simple. I mean, the pay-per-view names even in WWE are coming more just like TLCS. I mean, they're like tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs. Why can't we just name it TLC? They're making it more complicated. But anyway, that's a little petty issue here. Let's get into the actual show. We get the show started off with Kevin Owens defeating the Liberal Parker. Thought it was a really good match here. Not maybe a really good match, but I thought it was just a good way to present Kevin Owens to the crowd. A lot of moves with athletic moves, like they had the fucking somersault over the top rope, the seated senton into the what do you call it, the ropes or whatever. He was sitting leaning up against the first rope. And just a lot of good moves, I thought. You know, a little cut, I think, right here, too, he has, so that kind of added to the match. All in all, 3.5 star out of 5 match. A good match, good way to present Kevin Owens, and I was pretty satisfied here. Then we get the Luchas defeating I guess the Vaudevillains they're called. I mean, what the fuck is this, the Vaudevillains? I mean, they're like, oh, we're all artsy and we have all these manners and shit. I mean, I'm like, what? It's kind of stupid, I think. Kind of gay. It kind of just goes against what wrestling's supposed to be like, and that's tough and hardcore. I mean, they're retarded. It's not that entertaining. I mean, they're not as bad as, like, the Matadors or the fucking Usos, but they're pretty shitty. So this match I thought was alright. I mean, I thought it lacked the elements of a quality match. I still felt there were some good spots in here. It was alright. So I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get Baron Corbin defeating some jobber or something like that. It was a short fucking match, and I thought it was pretty stupid. I mean, on a pay-per-view, you should have legitimate matches, not jobber matches. So I'll give it a 0.5 star out of 5. I thought the finish was pretty cool, so yeah, give it a 0.5 star out of 5. Then we get Kenta and his friend defeating the Ascension. I thought it was an alright match. I mean, again, I thought it lacked the elements of a quality match. And it was just slow at times, I felt like. Kind of boring at times, but still it wasn't horrible. It was alright, so I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And by the way, I said I would get this video up by yesterday. I'm sorry, I finished watching it at like 2 in the morning, so I thought, you know, I might as well just put up the video tomorrow. So yeah. And a lot of people were asking me to do this. Are you going to do the NXT review? Are you going to... Probably got like 5 or 6 people asking me if I'm going to do the NXT review. And you know, not a lot of people usually ask me that much, but so here I am though with the NXT review. But anyway, we get Charlotte defeating Sasha Banks in a really good match. I thought I'll give it 3.75 out of 5 stars. A lot of moves here filled with just impact. I thought a lot of impactful moves, I guess. Is that a word? You know, I think the WWE superstars, the guys superstars, should take lessons from this match and should take lessons from Charlotte, because Charlotte is a legitimately good wrestler. She's not feeding off her father's coattails like a Randy Orton is. She's legitimately good, or she's not feeding off of fucking, you know, being in the fucking business like Triple H is, like being related to the fucking boss. She's legitimately a good wrestler. You know, I thought when I saw her, oh, she's just feeding off of Flair's coattail, she'll probably suck, but no, she knows how to fucking wrestle. Yeah, it was a very good match, 3.75 out of 5 stars. Then we get the main event, which is Sami Zayn defeating Adrian Neville in a fucking amazing match here. I thought they made it a little bit predictable when they say, oh, if Sami Zayn loses, he's gonna be retired. I think that's what the stipulation was. So I think it was like a title versus career match. Kind of spoiled it a little bit, but I mean, it was kind of predictable, but still a fucking awesome match. I mean, it wasn't totally predictable, but I mean, you kind of had a feeling Sami Zayn was gonna win. You know, I like it the best when it's like 50-50 and you don't know who's gonna win. But whatever. I mean, it was still an amazing match. A lot of great moves in here. And if you take this match, Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville, or Sami Zayn versus Cesaro, and you compare it to a fucking Orton match or a typical match on Raw or just a typical pay-per-view match. You can't even fucking compare the two. I mean, it's just fucking like, it's like comparing LeBron James to a fucking, you know, shitty NBA player. You just can't fucking do it. I mean, it's like fucking comparing, you know, George Washington to Adolf Hitler. I mean, it's just incomparable, almost, you know. So, and I'll give this match 5 stars. You know, I was thinking after that finish with the haluva kick or haluba, whatever the fuck it's called, I was thinking, well, kind of a shitty ending. I don't know if I'm going to give it 5 stars. But then, you know, they did the celebration. They had Kevin Owens out there hugging Sami Zayn. And then they had Kevin Owens turn on Sami Zayn, which was a very, very, all of it was just a cool moment post-match because it actually felt like a legitimate title change. They actually value the title change. And in NXT, the titles don't change as much, which is, you know, I feel like if they change the titles, like even if they do it 3 times in a month, I believe they did that with the IC belt, you know what, I think it still brings value to the belt. If you, doesn't matter if you change it 3 times in a month or 1 time over a year, like they did it with CM Punk. You just have to value the belt and treat it with respect and in class and not fucking shit on it like they've done with most of the belts in WWE, if not all. But the NXT titles, they've really valued it. And if you look at the champions, I mean, Big E Langston, of course, kind of devalues the worth of that title being, I think he was the first champion. Or was it Seth Rollins? I don't know. But, I mean, who's had it? Big E Langston, Seth Rollins, who's a good wrestler, Adrian Neville, who's a good wrestler, and Sami Zayn. So, I mean, it's only changed, you know, and when it changes hands, it actually feels kind of special, you know. So, oh, Bo Dallas, I kind of devalues it, but again, like, it feels actually like a special title belt, you know, it's different than the fucking, you know, U.S. title or some shit like that, so, you know, they all of them came out and congratulated him, and it felt like a special moment, you know, it felt like a very awesome moment, so that's why I'm giving it 5 stars. It was a great match. Great post-match celebration too, when Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn, great there too. So just a fucking all-around great pay-per-view. I thought a lot of, you know, let me go through here, quick little summary here. You know, just it was 2 of the matches I thought were average, but I mean I thought you had 2 very good matches, and 1 great match there at the end. Oh, you also had that one Barry Corbin match, which I thought was shitty and unnecessary, but still a very good pay-per-view. I'll give it 8.5 out of 10 stars because you had 2 very good matches. I thought, I think this was a debut of Kevin Owens, and you had a fucking amazing main event there at the end between Sami Zayn and Neville, and these people, Sami Zayn and Neville, are just fucking awesome wrestlers. I think you have to put them up in the main roster, alright? Because if you look at the main roster now, between Cena and fucking, you know, guys like Orton and, you know, there's some talent up there like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, Ziggler, even Cena, as much as, you know, people might hate to admit it, he's puts on some, you know, good matches. But I mean, if you look at the talent now, some of the top talents in WWE, again, it's incomparable almost to the wrestling quality of Adrian Neville or Sami Zayn. Even if Cena, look at Cena, Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn are better than Cena by a long shot. So, but I mean, they'll probably bring him up, and then they'll probably hold him back so they don't outshine Cena. Tell them not to wrestle good, or if they gain momentum, they'll probably bury their ass so they don't overtake Cena as the top spot. So, I mean, just a really good pay-per-view, 8.5 out of 10 stars. Just some really good matches, really good moments and shit. So, there's your NXT, I guess, what is it called? Takeover 3 Revolution review. So, here you go, people.